Hi, how are you? I hope you're well. Welcome to Mel's Mindful Musings. Yesterday we had the most amazing deluge of rain. I went and danced in it. And it made me think about how quickly things can change. I've been looking at how, with the lack of rain that we've had, I think not only here, but in other places around the world, how quickly this turns from beautiful green, healthy land to everything looking dead. How quickly, without sustenance, without that beautiful feeding of the nourishing rain, it dies. And it made me think about us. What is it that we maybe keep from our lives, that we don't address in our lives, where there's something that nourishes our soul that we keep at bay because we're too busy, too rushing around, too many other things to think about, and we live a half-life. I read a lovely saying yesterday that said, life is not a waiting room, that we need to live it all like it's an adventure. But that doesn't always mean, when we say the word adventure, people always think I've got to travel the world, but this brought it right down to the tiny things we do every day. How can we say every day, how have I lived my adventure today? That could be through talking to somebody, through changing our attitude that makes us feel from sad to feel like there's no life in our life, no nourishment, to feeling uplifted because we just changed one thing. We lived life like an adventure and said yes to it all. And then all of a sudden, the world looks different. Just one thing, like the rain coming from the constant heat. Overnight, we just don't know what's around the corner, what will change our life. Sometimes challenges, things that we don't want, but no one ever said it was going to be easy. Life, when we watch those films or read those books about adventures, I used to love reading them, on the high seas, whatever it was, space stories, adventures, but none of those, however exciting people find them, look at them. They're not about life being all smooth and easy. They're about challenges, facing awful things at times, but constantly fighting on. So when I pulled the first card for this morning, that's what really helped, was when it said, don't let the fear of what could happen stop anything from happening. If we start thinking that everything is to be feared, for me, that's when we sit in that waiting room, waiting for something to be a certain way before we say yes to an adventure. And I thought, well, how do we get started? How do we say, okay, I want to live an exciting life. But again, if your expectation is that, well, that means I've got to travel the world, I've always felt the adventure starts within. It's doing the simple things in life, how we talk to people, how we interact, how we do our chores. That for me is my challenge, to treat the chores, do the hoovering, do the washing up as an adventure, feeling that it's something that's nourishing my life, that it's the rain on the drought of helping me change my attitude to the things that I find more challenging. And then all of a sudden, I'm hoping that, and I think I will because I've done it with other things, then I find those things an adventure. Do what you can with what you have and where you are. Just start now. Start now with how can you bring more adventure into your life just by changing your outlook, bringing that rain to the drought. The next card I pulled, if you want something you've never had, you've got to do something you've never done. Now that seems to contradict the previous one, But then I thought, well, maybe this is the next step. We just start where we are now, stop wishing for something to be different. And then our next adventure is, okay, I want to try something different. It's still on my bucket list to do a wing walk, so I'll keep you updated with when that gets done. Whether it'll be this year, I'm not sure now. but living life. Everything can be an adventure. Life is not a waiting room. And then when I pulled the last one, say yes. Rather than always saying no, I was thinking back to the things that I said no over my life, where I just thought, I don't have regrets over it, but I'm more about now saying yes, living life, not caring what anyone thinks. If we live life constantly for the opinion of others, to me, that is the drought. That is as we see our life becoming numb, sitting in that waiting room, waiting for someone else's approval. Say yes. Say yes from where you are now. Stepping forward, how can you bring more adventure into your life now? I wish you well, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.